Hello! Today in my kitchen, I'm going to take you along on a step-by-step guide on how to water bath can. Now, I'm doing this video for two reasons. One, so me and my editor both have an easier time when I'm making videos from now on forward. Anytime I have any water bath canning and I get to that point in the video, I can say, you can find my step-by-step guide on how to water bath can up here. The second reason I'm doing this is when I first started really getting into the full force of canning, I had a hard time finding any kind of videos on step-by-step guides for water bath and pressure. You can find videos, but they always left things out or left me with questions and always left me wondering. So I'm going to make a video that I would have liked to have seen and all the questions I would have wanted answered. So, here we go. I just finished making, that's hot, jam. This is a Thrive Life jam using all Thrive Life ingredients. That I will try to leave up above or a link in the description, just so you can see how this particular jam was made. Now that I have it, when you're water bath canning, you need to make sure that you sterilize your jars. You wash them, you dry them, and then you can either boil them for 10 minutes in boiling water, or, and I do this, and a lot of people do this, and my grandmother did this, makes it a lot faster and easier. You can bake them. You only need to be at 215, but I always do 250 degrees, because that's what my grandma told me, and you only have to do it for 15 minutes, but my grandma always said 250 degrees for 20 minutes, just to make sure. So my jars were washed and sterilized in an oven on 250 degrees for 20 minutes. Then I put my jam in. Now we're going to prepare them for the water bath canner. I always use a little apple cider vinegar to make sure that I'm really sterilizing to the tops. And then warm water. You used to use really hot water, but the new lids, I guess, can't handle them, so we just do warm. Then you take a fresh, clean washcloth, and that is hot. Wipe the rims. Make sure you've got no food stuck to the edges. You do not want your seal to fail. So we want to have this as clean as possible. Then we take our lid. We sterilize our lid. Lid on. Ring on. Fingertip tight. Then it goes into your water bath canner. I am using my pressure canner. You can use any stock pot, but I like to use my pressure canner just for ease. And because it already comes with a rack. Alright. Jar in. All of these back here are also jams and jellies I just got done doing. They go in there too. Then we're going to take our apple cider vinegar water and pour it in. You don't necessarily have to use it in water bath canning, but in pressure canning, the apple cider vinegar, or the vinegar in general, keeps your jars from being cloudy. So I always just add it to my water anyways. It's a waste, in my opinion, to dump it down the drain, and it helps me in my ease and comfort with sterilization. Next step, we're going to put water in here until about an inch above the tallest jar's rim, and then get ready to turn it on and boil it. We'll be back when I have this all filled up. All of our water is in there, and it's to an inch above our jars. Then we're going to turn the water on high. And most important when we do this, we got to make sure that we're boiling it with a lid. When you boil it open, the temperature doesn't get as high as when you have a lid on it. Now, I don't lock this down. Like I said, this is my pressure canner, but I'm not going to lock it down. We're not pressure canning, we're water bath canning. We want to make sure we have a lid on to make sure that we have that proper temperature. Then we're going to bring it up to a rolling boil and then turn our timer on and process it for whatever amount of time is required for what you are canning. Always make sure you check your ball or your Kerr canning book to make sure that you're going by the proper amount of time. Most of my canning is rogue canning, or what they consider rogue canning, because I don't necessarily use tried and true ball book canning recipes. A lot of mine are recipes that came from my grandma or have come from grandma figures. And in my opinion, if my grandmother canned it for 30 years, it's a tried and true recipe. Alright, we're going to bring this up to a rolling boil and we'll bring you back so that you can see what it looks like. Alright. Ooh. Let me grab a couple of rags here really quick. That is a rolling boil. That is when you turn on your timer and start the counting. For me, it's 20 minutes. So I'm going to turn on the timer and we'll be back. Alright, it's been 20 minutes, so we're going to turn this off. Remove the lid. And let it cool for about 5 minutes. Then we'll remove the jars and let them seal. It's been 5 minutes. Let's get these jars out. You don't want to tilt them or tip them. There will be water on the top of them, but you don't want to tilt or tip the jars because you could end up putting product up underneath the rim and then your jar won't seal. So after we get them out of the water, we'll take a clean rag and set it on top of the jar, and most of the time you'll hear it pop and seal right after that. I just used my cloth that I had used earlier, the clean one, to clean the rims. And as the water comes off, you can hear them sealing. Then we're going to let them sit. All of them seal. And all of them cool for about an hour. And then we'll remove the lids and let them sit for a total of 24 hours. And then they can go on your shelf and you've got jams and jellies. There we have it. All of the jars that we water bath canned have sealed and closed nice and tight. And all of our jams and jellies are set and settled. They're still a little warm. I generally let them sit and rest for about 24 hours before I put them on the shelf. There we have it. From beginning to end, all aspects of this jam has 100% Thrive Life products in it. Look how beautiful and set that is. I can't wait to open this up and use it on some sandwiches. Thanks for coming along on my video, and I hope you learned something in my adventure, and I hope it inspires you to give Thrive Life a try for yourself and learn different ways to experiment with Thrive Life. As my grandfather used to say, if you don't know how to use the food stores that you have, you're going to starve just as much as if your food stores are empty. We'll see you next time, and remember, stay positive. Bye.